We believe the principle of celestial or plural marriage is one of the most holy and sacred principles that was ever given to man on earth. It wasn't something to satisfy a man's lusts. Yes, I truly believe that a man can love 2, 3, 4, 5 women more than he can love one woman, because his ability to love increases. His ability to understand the wants and needs and desires of another individual. Can I love my older son more than I love my younger one? If I have 10 children, can I love them separately? Can I say I only love one and the rest of them are just there? No, I love them all. And it's the same way I believe with a man's wives.
How many of you have the spelling notebooks that Sister Diane just gave you?
The group, the AUB, quietly operates private schools for its congregations in the Salt Lake Valley and Montana. The schools represent the emphasis placed on children in plural marriage.
That's the very main reason for the principle, is children, to raise up a righteous posterity. We believe that was the intent all the way ever since the advent of Adam upon the earth, was to raise up a righteous posterity. And that is the main purpose of our living today.
Since there's an emphasis on the children, observers have questioned the ability of the next generation to make free choices.
We have a son right now that he's living at home, but he hasn't, at this point, he's having struggles, and he hasn't chose to go to church and to do the things that we want him to do right now. And it's a heartache for us, but it's what that's his choice. And we're working with him, and we still love him, and we still hope that he'll change. But if he doesn't, that is his free agency. That is his choice.
No, I don't believe there's any force there at all, and I don't believe they're ostracized because they aren't.
The members of the AUB donate a portion of their earnings, known as tithing, for the support of their religious organization. The AUB, for its size, has significant property holdings that are managed by its governing council.
We have people that would be on welfare, but we support them, we take care of them. Widows, one man in particular has been paralyzed now for 7 years and been tied down. He was a very good tithe payer all during his youth time. And for 7 years, we've completely supported that man, paid his doctor bills and things of that nature. Well, that runs into thousands of dollars. Well, on the records, it'll show $2,800 went to charity. But when they say, well, who got that charity, that's none of your business.
In support of its Salt Lake locations and in the Pinesdale, Montana community, the AUB practices a modified version of the United Order, the concept of the many producing for the common good. In the meetings, in the homes, in the people, is a sense of mission, a sense of purpose that drives each day from morning to night.
So if they're not dedicated, and if they don't have a religious background or a religious motive, they will screen themselves out. And we've seen a number of people that have lost, as far as we're concerned, lost their families, divorces, breakups, heartaches, you name it, because they fool themselves, they think they can live this way of life and not put an effort to it.
The sense of mission is found in the words of Owen Allred, the man who leads a group that walks quietly in the shadows of society.
One way it's a terrible burden, another way it's a wonderful, wonderful feeling. I love those people of Pinesdale. I love the people here. I wish at many times that I could step out and have somebody else better qualified to take my place. But I can't do it. I can't do it. Because you won't understand this, because I know God put me here, and I've got to stay here till He calls me home and get somebody else better or less qualified, I don't know, to take my place. I can't back out.
The most readily identifiable gathering of believers in plural marriage is found on the Utah-Arizona border. Built on the foundation of the Short Creek community, the town of Colorado City is populated by third and fourth generation ancestors of the first polygamists who carved a niche in this hard land. Incorporated by the state of Arizona, Colorado City and its adjoining sister city of Hilldale, Utah, have a population estimated at 4,500. Local government offers little outward difference from other small western towns, with the exception of community leaders always looking over their shoulder.
Because we know that we are looked at. If we make a mistake, it's accentuated. And because of that, we've made an extra effort to make sure that we were strictly within the law on the things that we do. And we want to be online. We are not lawbreakers. We do not have a contest with America. We only want to live our religion and have the freedoms guaranteed to us that is guaranteed to all people. And that is to serve our God according to the dictates of our conscience.
One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Unlike the Montana and Salt Lake groups, Colorado City children attend a public school system supported by Arizona tax dollars. School administrators are careful to keep church and state separate. There are no prayers during the school day, but virtually all of the children participate in release time religious studies at the nearby meeting hall. But religion and daily life are constant companions in Colorado City. Obedience to the order, a strong testimony of religious conviction, and hard work for the common good are the measures of man, woman, and child alike.
A people that are God-fearing, a people that have strong faith and beliefs, maybe a little old-fashioned in some things, because they still believe in morality. They still believe in modesty. And they still believe in working together and helping each other.
The common benefit of the United Order guides much of Colorado City's development. The United Order manifests itself in work parties to finish improvements on the town's medical clinic, as well as in home ownership. All land in the town is held in trust by the United Effort Plan, the fundamentalist organization.
The concept that's behind that trust is this, that men make a consecration to it, they put their land in it, and it is held without mortgage or without in any way being indebted to the banks. And so, as you look around our community, any homes that are built on that trust land have no mortgages on them. It's quite hard to withdraw from. When you join with that effort, you consecrate your land, and then that land becomes used for other members as they can. And so if you want that land all back at a later time, it's a difficult process to withdraw.
Some disaffected members of the community have taken issue with the handling of land matters in the town, producing a lengthy round of legal battles that town leaders are reluctant to discuss. It is one of several reminders that Colorado City is not an open book. The interest of visitors is tolerated up to the doors of the meeting hall, but religious services and even social gatherings are not open to cameras. While visitors can be warmly received by members throughout the community, questions are directed to a limited number of approved spokesmen. We were invited to visit the town's largest business, a sewing concern that produces medical and restaurant uniforms. But home visits and questions about individual families or plurality of wives were discouraged. Colorado City refuses to be put on display, refuses to perform tricks for the media, refuses to justify itself to non-believers.
We do what we do because we want to serve our God and our own conscience. And we're not doing it because we're trying to make an impression on anyone else. And whether people agree with us or disagree has the same value in reality.
The presence of clearly defined outposts of polygamy in the Mountain West produces a series of challenges to public policy. In the recent past, these men and women were considered one of the West's most pressing social problems. They have not changed their beliefs and promise they will not. the number of people following the principle of polygamy has increased an estimated 500% since the end of World War II. Yet all the laws barring plural marriage remain on the books.
You know, the law is being broken. I know about it. Every law enforcement officer and every prosecutor in the state of Utah knows about it, and yet there are no prosecutions. That makes everyone feel uneasy.
More than 3 decades after the fact, authorities refer to the Arizona raid on the Short Creek community as demonstrating that prosecution of polygamy has more costs than benefits.
If you really take the problem on that you're going to generate real significant, very significant social disruption among these people, and that arresting the men, as it were, or parents, both parents, leave a large number of children who have to be cared for, both emotionally and otherwise. It's extremely expensive, extremely difficult. If you really went after one from a cohabitation aspect, if you said, as a matter of policy, we're going after people who are unlawfully living together, could we just confine it to polygamists? And then, if there are tens of thousands, as we know there are, where do we put them as a matter of practical fact?
But pragmatic arguments do not clear the air over the issue of polygamy. When the Utah chapter of the American Civil Liberties Union weighed in on the subject in 1989, the organization was nearly ripped apart.
For consenting adults, we believe that polygamy is a personal choice that's protected by the rights to privacy and the right to free exercise of religion. I have had more debate, more dissension, more heat generated over the whole issue of plural marriage than anything else we've done.
Utah Children, this is Patrice Spiegel.
Much of the public remains suspicious of the mysterious nature of polygamy. Speaking out in an adoption case involving a polygamous family, the child advocacy group Utah Children argued that polygamous teachings could damage child development.
The primary issue in our case is not religion or religious freedom. The primary interest is the state having a role in acting in the best interest of children. The fact that women were considered property, that women were expected to be submissive, and all of those things are outside of the norms of general society, and we do not believe are in the interest of healthy children and children growing up to be healthy and normal adults.
Polygamy, then, is relegated to the grayest area of the law. Enough suspicion remains to keep the anti-polygamy laws in force, yet practical considerations keep them from being applied. Followers of the principle have demonstrated a religious durability over 100 years, yet remain outside of the religious protections of the Constitution. In the absence of an effective mandate to do something,